Hey there, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to be classy. And when I first came up with the idea to do this video, I, was just like, maybe I shouldn't do this video because it's just, being classy, I guess, in some ways can be subjective. So it's not, anything concrete, I guess. But I came up with this idea because reading different comments in my previous videos, that's kind of a general theme I kept seeing, is how classy I am. And I never really thought of myself as being classy, but I guess you guys, think I am. So I thought, well, let me just give you my tips on how to be classy, or how I act, because perhaps maybe you guys can get some, inspiration if you're trying to be more of a classy person. So yeah, I'm just going to be sharing my tips and what I think it means to be classy. This is just my opinion, okay? This is not the end all be all, so I'm not the expert on being classy. So please just take this with a grain of salt, okay? This is just all in fun, okay? So yeah, so if you are interested in seeing this video, just keep watching, and also don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video, and go check out some of my other ones. I have all kinds of videos on here. And for those of you who are new, my name is Crystal, by the way, and on this channel I talk about all things fashion and beauty and lifestyle. So yeah, so stick around and let's just get into the video and talk about how to be classy. So when I think of classic, or what comes to my mind when I'm describing someone as classy, I think of classic, right? Because classy comes from the word classic. So I think of someone who's classy or classic, or timeless, very sophisticated acting or looking person. So when you think of classy, you have those terms that come to mind, is sophisticated, timeless. So that basically in a nutshell is what a classic person is, or a classy person is. They're very sophisticated in the way that they look. They're very sophisticated in the way that they act. I would associate it more so with women who were like in the early days, right? Like in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. They're very, women from that era are very, were very, sophisticated. Look at Coco Chanel, for instance. Her style was very classy, right? Timeless. Even we try to emulate the way that she looked even today. So it's kind of a person that you can't really tell, what era they were born in, right? You would think, oh, they kind of coming off as if they were born, in the 40s or the 50s, because women in that time were, sophisticated and classy, and they dressed in a sophisticated and classy way. So if we bring it up to date to now, when you see someone and you look at them, or you note, take note of how they act, it's just very minimalistic, right? Very classic. So just kind of keep that in mind. So the first tip I would say of how to become a classy person, and when I give you these tips, the first three have to do with more so with how you look. So you can change your appearance. The last two I'm going to talk about, that may take a little bit of work. But the first three tips I'm going to give you, those are things that you can kind of change rather quickly than you can the last two. So the first tip is to dress feminine. It has to do with how you dress. So a classy woman is covered up, like I said, nothing too short, nothing too revealing. Take for instance my top, like it's showing some skin for sure, but it's not too much. It's not OTT, over the top. And a classy woman is very modest, so they're very modest in their dressing. So when I think of a classy style or a classic style, you can think of, heels. Nothing too high and crazy in dresses. If you want to instantly look classy, just, put on a nice flowy dress. Nothing too tight and you know, body hugging. And if you do wear something body hugging, just, you know, it depends on the fabric, right? Because some body hugging stuff can just make you look awful, and every little roll and every little nook and cranny is gonna pop, right, and show. So you want to make sure if you're going to wear something that is figure flattering or something that is, you know, bodycon, that you kind of style it up in such a way that it's not too what's the word I'm looking for, that's not too trashy. I don't really care to use that word, but we'll just say for the sake of the video, you know, something that's not too trashy. So yeah, so it's all about in how you dress, if you want to instantly look classy. So that would be tip number 1, is to dress feminine. Tip number 2 would be have to do with your makeup. So your makeup is very minimal. It's nothing, like I said, too over the top, just pretty much basic. Not a whole lot of color, maybe some pop of color, like on my lips I have a pop of red, but everything else is minimalistic. I don't even have on falsies today, which actually, before I, you know, jump any further, I want to mention this mascara that I showed in one of my previous hauls. I have it on today, and it's by Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. So I showed this, I think, in my latest Amazon haul. I wanted to try it out. So I don't have any falsies, and as you can see, it's pretty, you know, voluminous. It kind of gave me a little bit of volume, and this is only after 2 coats. So I usually need about 3 or 4 because I have the worst lashes. And trust me, it would look a whole lot worse if I would have used, you know, some other type of mascara. But this definitely, I think it did the trick with my mascara. So yeah, so far I like this product so far. So I will link it down below if you want to try it out. But yeah, so that's just the mascara I have on today. But yeah, so like I said, the makeup is very minimalistic, nothing too over the top, nothing too, again, nothing that's too colorful, you know, and if you do have colors, just like a pop, just enough, not too much, but just enough. So yeah, that would be my second tip, is minimal makeup. So my third tip of how to be classy would be like a minimal hairstyle or a classic hairstyle. So like today, I have my hair in a ponytail, and typically on this channel you guys have been seeing me just in a bun, which I pretty much wear most of the time because it's right now it's the winter time and it's just too hot to just do anything with my hair. And plus, even if I try to curl my hair, I live in the South in the United States, so it's hot. Anybody that's from the US or knows about the US climates at all, the South part of the US is just, it's hot. When it's summertime, it's just crazy hot. So I don't even curl my hair because the humidity will just make those curls fall, and it takes me forever to do my hair. And so the last thing I need is to spend hours on a hairstyle that's just gonna fall as soon as I walk outside. So I typically just keep my hair in a bun or in a low ponytail. So that's just a minimal hairstyle, in a way just to kind of look classy and not over the top. As you can see, the general theme of being classy is not being over the top with a lot of things. You know, and appearance is one of those things. You're not too over the top, you're classic, you're timeless, like I just mentioned earlier in the video. So yeah, just a simple look, a simple, basic, I guess a classy woman is just basic, I guess. And it's okay to be basic, you know, and it's good to stand out if you want to stand out. There are ways to stand out and still look classy, but for the most part, to be classy, you just basically, you again are just basic and not too over the top. So yeah, just a ponytail or a low bun, of course, natural hair color, you know, nothing too crazy, you know, no purple and, you know, all these different colors, you know, if you're trying to be classy. Now, if you want to experiment and just have fun, that's fine too. But if you are going for a classy look, then yeah, natural hair color is basically how you come off being classy. So yeah, so my third tip, which involves your appearance, has to do with your hair. All right, and my fourth and fifth tip have to do with your mannerisms. So these are things that you have to work at to change, because this is how you are. And especially if you're older, you know, this is how you've been since you were a kid, really, because your personality kind of, you know, comes out as you get older, and it starts, of course, when you're a child, and then it just kind of evolves. And if you've been this way since you were a child, it's going to take some practice and some work to change that habit, because that's what a mannerism is. It's just a habit. It's how you behave. It's how you speak, and how you act. So that's something that it has to be worked on if you want to be classy, especially if you don't, you know, exhibit these two tips I'm basically going to, you know, talk about. But the first one is, or the fourth one, I should say, the fourth tip, or the first mannerism I want to talk about, has to do with not being over the top or loud. A classy person, yeah, it's not over the top. They don't interrupt people. They're good listeners, for one thing. They speak with wisdom and positivity. So a classy person allows others to speak. They don't interrupt, you know. And again, like I said, this is something that you just kind of have to learn to do if you're not like this, right? So a classy person does not clap back at people when people come for them. And I know that sometimes can be hard, because trust me, there are times when I want to clap back at people who come for me, but there's a way that you can approach a person or speak to a person without coming off rude, or, you know, clapping back, as we say the term is. You can, you know, talk back to a person in a classy way, to where you won't put off the same negative vibes and same negative energy that they came with you with. You know, no, I'm not going to go there with you today. I'm not going to clap back at you. I'm going to let you stay there in that moment, because it's more about you than me. The way you are responding to me is more about you. That says a lot about you. So I'm not going to go there with you. That's one way to, I guess, clap back in a classy way, is just not to even go there with them. Don't allow people to take you there, because they're gonna, of course, we know people are gonna try you, and if you allow them to take you there, then they won, right? So yeah, a classy person does not clap back, is not rude, does not interrupt people, but you are classy. And I guess I should mention also that being classy can also be put into the same category as being professional. So if you have a job where, you know, you have to be professional, you know, a job where you are on someone else's time, where you're punching a clock and someone else is paying you, right? They're going to expect you to be professional. You know, I don't care if you work at a restaurant. You know, the manager is expecting you to be professional and to, you know, treat your customers in a professional manner. So a lot of what I'm talking about here, as far as being classy, can overlap into being professional. So you can also use these same tips for how to be professional too. Because if a customer is rude with you, if you're working at a restaurant or in retail, you know, then you have to react in a professional way and not, you know, be over the top, like I said, and be rude and be loud, especially if you're in a place of business, because no one will want to come back there. Think about a situation that you were at where you saw the employees being rude and being loud. Does it make you want to go back to that place, right? Because you automatically in your mind, you're thinking, oh, this is an unprofessional environment and I don't want to go there. Because if they're this unprofessional, there's no telling what else is going on, right? So you have to think about that too when it comes to you and how you react and how you act in certain situations. That's calling for you to be professional or to be classy. Because like I said, those two terms are kind of synonymous with each other. They, you know, kind of overlap. So yeah, so think about that the next time you are in your workplace and you have to answer the phone. If you have a job where you have to answer the phone, you're not going to answer the phone, what, right? Like, who does that? You know, especially like I said, you're on someone else's time and they're expecting you to be professional. You won't answer the phone like, what? No, or what you want, you know. You answer the phone in a professional manner. This is so-and-so, thank you for calling so-and-so. This is so-and-so, how may I help you? That's a classy or professional way of responding to your situation. So yeah, that's number 4. That's basically you're not over the top. So number 5 is how you act, right? It has to do with your mannerisms as far as how you act, or how you present yourself. So it has to do more so with your body language. So, you know, you're not slouched in a chair. You know, if you have a dress on or a skirt, you're not with your legs wide open, you know, your legs are crossed, or, you know, you're sitting up straight. When you're walking, you know, you're, you know, walking in such a way that, you know, shows, you know, power and authority. You're looking straight ahead, you know, you're not looking down at the ground. So it has to do with your body language. Look at how you know, are carrying yourself in situations, you know, and, you know, when you're at your job, you know, or if you're sitting at a desk, you know, your head's not, you know, on the desk, you know, you're, you know, sitting straight up, waiting for, you know, the next customer, or ready to greet the next customer with a smile, you know. So that's more so, like I said, to do with how your mannerisms and your body language. So look at your body language. Look at how you act when you are in a certain situation. Look at, you know, are you crossing your arms, right? Because that can, you know, put off a vibe that you don't want to be bothered, or you're not approachable. So yeah, try not to cross your arms. And I'm bad about that. I try my best not to do that. It's just kind of like, again, a habit. I'm used to doing it, but I try to be conscious about it when I'm doing it. Crossing your legs is fine, but when you have your legs crossed and your arms crossed, you definitely can put off a kind of a vibe that you don't want to be bothered. So my recommendation would be to just kind of pay attention to that. And if you see yourself crossing your arms, just be mindful of not doing that, because again, like I said, it can come off as though you don't want to be approached or you don't want to be bothered. Even if you don't want to be approached, and even if you don't want to be bothered, you don't want to come off as such. Especially, like I said, if you're in a situation where you have to be professional or you have to, you know, be classy. So yeah, that would be my 5th and final tip: avoid negative body language. All right, guys, so that's it. Those are my top 5 tips of how to be classy. So number 1, we said, just to recap, number 1 is to dress feminine. Number 2, minimal makeup. Number 3, minimal hair. Number 4, a classy person is not too loud or over the top. Number 5, a classy person avoids negative body language. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video and got something out of it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video, and also don't forget to check me out on Instagram. I post daily outfits over there. So yeah, you want to follow me over there so you don't miss anything that I post on my Instagram, because I post more so over there than I do here on my YouTube channel. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Have a good day, guys.